Good evening and welcome to the Nighttime Heat rated on Prom FM 105.5. This program is also being relayed by Radio Gegema. Radio Gegema is in Nima County, Radio Kwatika in Bon County, and of course, Radio Wologisi in Lofa County. We are streaming live as usual on Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. Again, Prom FM Monrovia 105.5. We are streaming live. And also, we are streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook and YouTube channel. Just tap Nighttime Heat out on your Facebook page or your YouTube channel. And of course, you're going to watch the show live. We want you not only to watch, we urge you to also share the show. We want you to share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow on what's happening tonight on the Nighttime Heat. Well, tonight we have, some major discussion for you. So hoping that you are there glued to your radio. And of course, if you have your phone, just follow the show online as well. Let me just give you, an insight of what's coming up tonight. First, for the next 30 minutes, I want you to call us and tell us about the best performing minister this year. Not since the government came to power, but this year, the best performing minister. And of course, we're going to give you 5 ministries, not just all the ministries, but we're going to give you 5 major ministries. We're going to give you the names of them, and you just tell us amongst the 5, who's the best performing minister, amongst the 5. So that's going to happen for the next 30 minutes. And then also we talk about the Senate. The Senate yesterday was in session up to late hours, up to late evening hours. We understand that the Senate passed the 1.2 billion United States dollars budget. The House of Representatives first passed the budget and then turned it over to the Senate. So the Senate too had done its due diligence and passed the budget as well. Also, the Senate ratified the petroleum contracts with Total Energies and the controversial Oranto Petroleum Liberia Limited. Oranto. And so we're going to play you the video as to how the senators voted. Who did vote in favor of those oil contracts and who didn't vote? We're going to also play that video for you. Yesterday, the Liberia National Police invited Molba Molu of Stand. We don't know why they invited him, but that followed the protest, the December 17th protest that were organized by Stand. And after the protest, the police thought it prudent to invite Molba Molu. And then finally, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Rachel Cohn, my own crew brother, is touring rural Liberia. And we're going to look at some of the things that the Speaker been telling the people in rural Liberia. He held a meeting also with some group of journalists who going to do our own analysis and also the sad attraction. I know when I talk about the sad attraction, I know you know what I'm talking about. The video concerning the political advisor, of the president, Mandela Cooper. She made a startling revelation, or trying to dismiss, or trying to not maybe dismiss, but she was trying to confirm some of the speculations or something. So we're going to talk about that as well tonight. Well, Saba George is my name, and of course, let me welcome David Benedictus Erasmus Nangwe Tagwe. Anytime you call this name, you have to get your bottle of water close to you. Dave, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Saba. And you need not to suffer yourself. Just say David Tagwe. You don't need now to call.
No, I mean that's the name I'm used to, David. And that's the name your parents gave you as well.
The David Erasmus, David Nangwe Tagwe, David Erasmus Benedictus Nangwe Tagwe. It's just a show-based name when I was presenting a popular show was in the paper. So okay. Sky FM.
No, but those names, I don't think that you stole those names.
No.
Your parents gave you those names. So we still don't have a denied you.
Yeah.
Let me welcome Edwin Famble. Edwin, welcome to the program as well.
Thanks, Lover, and good evening to you, to our listeners, and other panelists. I'm glad again tonight to be here as usual.
Okay. I know Moses will be joining us very shortly, and also I know Oliver Wisa from the UAE will join us. I understand Reverend Dr. Chris Cho of the Council of Churches will join us. That's Representative Smoke Molba will also join us. I understand, and of course, Assistant Minister Henry Yankoi, I understand, will also join us. I'm hoping they do because they promised to join us tonight as well. To talk about these discussions. But in the meantime, David, let's hear from you. What's been trending on your mind before coming up here?
Well, I guess you followed the president's encounter with the media today.
Yeah.
President Buakai, made himself available to the media today and spoke to a lot of mostly those who interviewed the president were some of our best talk show hosts. Tim Majorate, Kelvin Deming, someone else, the guy from EABC, what's his name?
Yes,
Vafle, right?
Vafle Kamara, yeah.
Vafle Kamara. And the president's appearance on EABC today, in my view, gave a lot of Liberians the hope that Liberia is on the right path, it's on the right trajectory to prosperity, because the president sounded optimistic and confident that he wants to change Liberia to a better country. But my disappointment with others is that the president is now respecting of him. EABC and other media and other radio stations had announced that the encounter with the media would have started about 9 o'clock sharp, 9 o'clock. And that was what was announced. But the president, arrived at EABC almost 10 o'clock. And that was not a good example. The president should be, look, we've always have this mindset that, look, this is Liberian time. When the meetings are going to start at 10 o'clock, it starts at 11, because all the Liberian time. And the president has proven that he's a typical Liberian who doesn't respect time. The president is not a respecter of time. He should be showing an example that, look, time is of essence.
Okay.
And the president disappointed me and other Liberians that he's not a respecter of time.
Okay.
For arriving at a decision on late.
Let me hold you there. You spoke, I think it's a genuine concern to you. Let's hear from you, Edwin. What's been trending on your mind today?
Well, I would dive into similar things that he said about the president's appearance today, but I would take it from a different perspective. The president is the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Liberia. He has other obligations. Yes, he promised chief.
Poor excuse.
No, that's not poor excuse.
It's a wrong justification.
David, give me time now,
Why
please.
will you come to justify?
David, give me time now. You are talking. I didn't interrupt you, please. Now, like I said, the radio broadcast today, it is not a constitutional duty. The president said, I'm going to avail myself. The president can wait until January to give his annual message. If the president decides to go to the radio stations and speak to the public, if at that time that he gave, he has important engagements, he has to attend to it before he goes to the radio station. If he had not attended today, then you can, argue those things. But I think most of the thing the president said, I like the way he engaged the media. I like the way he responded to some of the difficulties that the country was faced with. And this is unique for our leaders. When the leader sees the problem, they identify the problem and they proffer solutions. There was something that actually caught my attention today when they asked him to grade himself. And T-Mac said, will you give yourself an A? He said no. He said, first of all, I do not have an A, and I will not get an A until Liberia gets an A. And these are the things that we want to see, not like yesterday where people were calling themselves the best president ever from 1847 or so forth. So I was glad that today he spoke as a president that has wisdom and understand the problem that the country is faced with. And you've beat on him on most of the things on the station, on the show, about the issue of job creations. He admitted to it. It's a challenge. And like he said, he's going to do everything humanly possible to make sure he put the young people to work.
Let's go.
So these are some of the things.
Let's go ahead and welcome Oliver. We say quickly. Oliver, welcome from the UAE. We're there in the UAE. Welcome to the program, Oliver.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the invite. I'm so happy to be on the show tonight.
Okay. Do you have anything stranding on your mind, Oliver?
Oh yeah. Let me say, hats off to the Liberian president for such a splendid appearance today on ERBC. I mean, this is what we expect for a president to do, to be able to engage with his people. President Bouaka has proven today to be one of the best presidents that Liberia has ever had. Speaking to his people humbly. But let me disagree with Mr. Tagbe. And in fact, I think he needs to retract that statement. I think it was just condescending to publicly state here that and the president is a respecter of time. For in the first place, he doesn't know and the protocol of the president. The president might have promised to be there maybe by 10, as he said rightly, but he doesn't know what happened in between. And so to say affrontly that the president is a respecter of time, I think that statement it was so strong. You shouldn't use those kind of comments on our leader. I think it was just inappropriate, honestly speaking.
Look, the president is not an angel. The president should be an example.
Jay, when you speaking, other people are waiting for you.
I disagree with him. I disagree.
Okay, your disagreement
he made mention of my comment I made. As far as I'm concerned, the president now is a respecter of time.
Okay. Now hold there. Moses, what's been turning on your mind before you came up today?
Well, first, let me greet all of you, Family, Tagbe, Oliver, and you are sober. Our colleagues who are behind the scene, making sure that we come live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you and the many people in Liberia who are consistently following our work. Two things training on my mind. I would like to begin with the president.
You have a minute. You have a minute.
Okay, so let me speak to the most important one, and the other can come later. The most important thing that is training on my mind is that Yuma Bouaka inadvertently today told the world that he has no control of his leadership. He embarrassed himself. The president said the FOIA project, which according to him brings together regional leaders from Liberia, Sierra Leone, and Guinea. When the project was initiated, he knew nothing about that. We're talking about a project valued over $6 million United States dollars. And the man who leads Liberia says that project was initiated without his input. Then where is his leadership? I mean, that's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Moses. So let's try to welcome Reverend Dr. Christo. He's the Secretary General of the Liberal Council of Churches. Reverend Christo, welcome to the program. Reverend Dr. Crystal, welcome. Can you unmute? Reverend Crystal, welcome. Okay, it seems that he's not connected properly. So you're listening to the Nighttime Heat right here on Prime FM 105.5. I want you to share the show. The show is also online. We are streaming online, streaming live on Prime FM Arovia 105.5. We are also streaming live on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. That's the Nighttime Heat Facebook and the Nighttime Heat YouTube channel. Want to share the show so that your friends, your relatives, your loved ones, your partners can also follow what's happening tonight. But in the first 15 to 20 minutes, I want to open the lines for you. And let me try to get the phone close to my producers quickly. We want to open the lines to you. We want you to tell us. We got the list of, I know we'll be talking about other things tonight. And this is our first major discussion. Who's the best performing minister this year in this administration? And then after which we've heard from you, we'll also be talking about the Senate, passing the 1.2 billion budget and further rectifying petroleum contracts with Total Energies and Oriental Petroleum Liberia Limited. We'll talk about that also. Yesterday the police invited Molba Molo. Was there any justification for that? Baroness and I will be talking about that. Rachel Cohn, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, is on a rural tour. We'll look at some of the things that Rachel Cohn has been telling the people in rural Liberia and the side attraction. He's traveling with the political advisor to the president, Magdalena Cooper, who also identified herself as the spouse of the Speaker. We'll talk about that, whether that was quite necessary. But we want to open the lines for you quickly, 0778-460-793. And of course, 0778-460-793. Better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. Or this alternative line, 0776-540-987. 0776-540-987. We want to hear from you. Who's the best performing ministers amongst the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Health, and the Minister of Public Works? Just the five. We want to hear from you tonight. Who's the best? You think that have done extremely well this year, putting smiles on the face of the rescue administration. Again, the numbers to call, we're just going to go for maybe 20 or 15 minutes to do this. And of course, we'll go into our next discussion, 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. Or 0776-540-987. 0776-540-987. Let's take the first call on the line. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you. The best performing minister.
Good evening. My name is I'm calling for Kawa, the best performing minister, and Sarah Besloyanti.
Okay, the foreign minister, Sarah Besloyanti. Thank you very much. Thank you. I think you said it all. Let's try to and again announce the number for Sarah Besloyanti has gotten vote number one. We named 5 ministers, not all the ministers now. Yes, we didn't say that the other ministers didn't do well. Yeah, they worked, but we just chose to put 5 forth. We put our names in the basket, and you pick from them by calling the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Health and Public Works. Just for 20 minutes quickly. Let's take this other call on the line quickly. Your best performing minister. Okay.
As it relates to our topic on the discussion, the most past ministers that listed, for me, I think Professor Roland Lapierre is the best performing minister.
Okay, medicine. That does it. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Again, get protocols on 0778-460-793 or better still 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507 or this alternative line 0776-540-987. Again, 0776 540-987. Who do you think amongst the 5 ministers that were named, the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Public Works, who's the best performing minister? Do you think who's the best performing minister to you? Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, I'm James. I'm calling from the Rocky Highway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, among the 5 ministers that you need, like selected, I think our present foreign minister who have projected the foreign policy of Nigeria and set up an image in the outside world, she is the best for now.
Okay, she's the best for now. Okay, the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Let's go again. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. That's the numbers to call. Or better still, this alternative line, 0776-540-987. That's 0776. Again, 540-987. This alternative line. Let's see this other call on the line quickly. Good evening. Good evening. Hello? Yes, sir. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir.
My name is Abraham. I'm calling from Kerry Street.
Okay.
Yeah, my best performing minister this year is Minister Guinness.
Minister who?
Roland Guinness.
Oh, Giddings. Okay. Giddings Public Works. I think I'm going to call this on the line quickly. Giddings Public Works. Okay. 0778-460-793. We're going for just 15-20 minutes. I'm sure by 8:40 we'll close this exercise. 0778-460-793. Better still, 0880-086 540 086-050507. Again, 0886-050507. Or this alternative line, 0776-540-987. That's the numbers to call, and you are live right here on the program. We are asking, and of course, we want you to tell us who's the best performing amongst these 5: the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Public Works. Let's take this call on the line quickly. Good evening. Hello? Hello? It seems this caller is now on. Tell us, so who do you think is the best performing minister amongst the 5: Justice, Finance, Foreign Affairs, Health, Public Works? Just tell us who's the best performing. We don't want to ask you, why do you think? No, just, you know them already, know their performances. Just tell us about who the best performing. Good evening.
I'm moving.
Okay. Yes, Ruben, let's hear from you.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, go ahead.
Yes,
Okay, the finance minister, the gossip Gafwan. Okay, that's the man, turning the wheels of the economy. Let's take this other call up quickly. Good evening. Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Samuel Siwu, and I'm calling from Upper Harbour.
Okay.
Among the 5 categories, national categories, that the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Madam Sarah Yanturi, is the best performing minister of the year.
Okay, Sarah Nyanti, the best performing minister of the year. So amongst the 5, the nighttime heat is asking tonight, amongst the 5, we didn't say the other ministers didn't do well. No, they're extremely well. They've been working hard. But we just thought to name 5 of the ministers, the major 5. Justice, that's the rule of law. Finance, the man turning the wheels of the economy. Foreign affairs, the madam looking at the foreign policy of the country. Health, they're trying to make sure to fight all the diseases and all of that. Public works, they've been trying to build the roads. Who is the best so far this year? 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. I'm sure by 8:40 we end this exercise. Or better still, this alternative line, 0776-540-987. Again, 0776 540-987. And tell us about who do you think performed well amongst the other ministers. Good evening.
Yeah, my name is Martin Fofana.
Okay.
Fofana Minister.
The finance minister. Okay. Minister of Finance, Augusto Gafuan, again has been named as the best performing amongst the 5 ministers. Let's take this other call on the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm Jim M.K. Kole calling from Agape Community, UOA Junction.
Mm-hmm.
The most best performed minister is the minister who is steering the economy.
The Minister of Finance. Okay, many thanks. Let's get another call on the line quickly. After 8:40, we'll end this exercise. We want to know from you the best performing ministers amongst those 5 major ministers we named. Good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir. Hello? Yes, sir. Let's hear from you quickly.
Yeah, I'm Germany. I'm joining from Crossy Community.
Okay. Yes, go ahead now.
Well, you are very I'm not getting you.
Okay, so we got 5 ministers here. The Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Public Works. Amongst the 5, who's the best? Okay, William Giddens. Okay, he's William Giddens is the best performing ministers among the 5. Again, 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. Or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. Or this alternative line, 0776-540-987. Again, 0776-540-987. That's the alternative line. If you can get through the other line, just make sure you call this one and then you come through. Tell us who's the best performing minister to you, based on what they've done over the last 12 months. Good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm calling for
Okay.
Yeah, actually, what I wish to know is that the 5 names that were listed that we are discussing now. I want to know what are any of them discussing the brand model issue in this country.
Yeah, that's the Minister of Finance.
The Minister of Finance discussing the brand model issue.
The Minister of Finance is the one responsible for the economy, the bread and butter, putting food on the table amongst the 5.
Yeah, is it happening now?
I'm asking. We got 5 ministers here. The Minister of Justice, the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Minister of Health, the Minister of Public Works, amongst the 5.
Well, for me, as a Liberian, in my own view, none of them doing anything.
Okay. That's that. How do you call that auto vote? Invalid. Okay, so let's take additional calls quickly. We've got 9 minutes to go. Like I said, this exercise will end at 8:40. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793. That's the number to call. Or another long number if you want to use the Lone Star, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. That's the number to call, and you are live on the nighttime heat tonight. Who's the best performing minister amongst the 5 ministers we've listed here? Good evening.
Yeah, how are you?
I'm okay, Mama.
Yeah, I'm calling from Lokita.
Okay.
Yeah, I hear people commenting on the minister's education for finance, but before the case of pay, they can't pay with the teachers first.
No, but we don't have the. We don't.
I'm not taking pay. Let him pay us and we'll pay.
Who now? Who?
You're not taking pay.
Oh, okay. All right. Before you can grade him, okay. 0778-460-793. That's invalid vote there. We're going to throw that one away quickly. Let's take this other call in the line quickly. Good evening.
Yeah, good evening.
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Yeah, my name is Daniel Kamara. I'm calling for Power.
Okay.
The best performing minister, Malasero Yanti.
Who?
Sarah Besro Yanti.
Okay.
Beso Yanti.
Okay, that's the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Sarah Besro Yanti. Okay, he said that's the best performing minister to you. let's hear from you quickly. We listed 5 here: Justice, Finance, Foreign Affairs, Health, and Public Works. Who's the best performing minister to you this year? Not since the government started, but this year we are looking at 2025. Who's the best performing minister to you? 0778-460-793. Let me take this caller. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, sir?
I'm okay, sir.
This is G. Baba Conway, son of River Academy. Of Motomaro.
Okay.
But that the foreign minister is I'm calling for another public work minister.
Public Works. Okay. Many thanks. Public Works. 8:40. We end this exercise quickly. Let me take this other call on the line. Good evening.
Good evening, Saba.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, and good evening to Barbarians following the broadcast. This is Koyo.
Okay.
And I joined this conversation from this city. Well, my best performing minister, to all of them performing, but since you say we should single in one person, and I will give my credit point to the foreign affairs minister, Madam Sarah Besso-Yanti, for rebranding of her image out there. Thank you. Okay,
Madam Sarah Besso-Yanti, Justice, Finance, Foreign Affairs, Health, Public Works. Who do you think is the best performing? 8:40. We end this exercise. 0778-460-793. Let's take this call also again on the line. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. George.
Yes, sir.
And good evening to the listening public. The name is Sifas Uchuku Kamai, and I'm calling from the Carwell.
Okay.
The best performing minister is Madam Sarah Besso-Yanti.
Okay, Madam Sarah Besso-Yanti. Many thanks, Madam Sarah Besso-Yanti. Many thanks. Let's get another call on the line quickly. 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. We got 5 minutes to go, or 0778-460-793. Let's take this call up quickly. Who's the best performing minister amongst the 5 that we have here? Let's hear your name.
Foreign Minister, Sarah Besso-Yanti.
Okay, Foreign Minister, Madam Sarah Besso-Yanti. 0778-460-793. That's the number to call, or better still, 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. That's the numbers to call, and you are live right here. We've listed 5 major ministers. Minister of Justice, the man who running the rule of law, the man who got the police under him, the man who got the immigration under him, the man who got the who again under him, the DA under him. Okay, and then we also have the Minister of Finance, the man who turns the wheels of the economy, making sure that we get the compact, making sure that food on the table, the bread and butter issue, the man who's overseeing that, that's the Minister of Finance. Then the Minister of Foreign Affairs, that's the little who's responsible to look at the foreign policy of the country, making sure reconnecting Liberia to the globe. And then the Minister of Health, the person who's responsible, they're responsible making sure that all the diseases find place to hide. The outbreak are fought to the latter. And then the Minister of Public Works, the man who oversees the beautification of our roads, wherever the potholes are. But I was coming today, I saw some potholes, but I'm sure you're trying to work on those potholes, hoping that those potholes. David, I hope you're not sleeping. David is trying to sleep on me. Get the camera picking up quickly. He's afraid. Okay, please call us on 0778-460. We got under 3 minutes ago. 0778-460-793. Again, 0778-460-793 or 0886-050507. Again, 0886-050507. That's the numbers to call, and you are live on the program. Who's the best performing minister to you? You think this year who really perform? Let's hear from you. Good evening.
Yeah, I'm Super Brown Stewart Jr. calling for District 17.
You say your name again?
Super Brown Stewart Jr.
Okay. So,
I'm calling for District 17.
okay, so name your minister now. The best performing.
I give it to the Justice Minister.
Oh, the Minister of Justice. What? The Minister of Justice just getting only one vote, Chris. Wow. Okay. You say give to the Minister of Justice. Okay, let's take this call on the line quickly. Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening, my brother. How are you?
I'm okay. The best performing amongst the 5 that we listed.
Okay, first of all, my name is Alexander P. Timishion. I'm calling from Flagstaff, Louisiana Township. In my mind, best Prime Minister are 2.
No, just call one.
Okay, I will call.
Background's bad. Can you reduce it?
Okay, Sarah Besro Nyanti. That's the best performing minister to you. Let's try to take only one more, because we said only 3. We could take only one more. Let's try to take quickly, and then we close up on this exercise to go into our other discussion. 0778460793, or better still 0886050507. Again, 0778460793 or 0860500507. Amongst the 5 ministers we listed, the best performing to you: Justice, Finance, Foreign Affairs, Health, Public Works. We want to hear from you quickly, and then we'll close up on this exercise. We only need one more call, one more vote: 0778460793, or better still 0886050507. 0886050507. That's the numbers to call and to alive quickly on the nighttime heat tonight. I haven't heard anybody talking about the Minister of Health. What's happening? Is she not doing well? We want to hear from you. 0778 460793 or 0886050507. Only one more call quickly, and then we'll close up on this exercise and go into our next discussion. 0886050507, or better still 0778 460793. That's the numbers to call, and you are live. Okay, I think we've reached 8:40, and we can go further. Gentlemen, David Benedictus, I hope you're not sleeping.
I'm listening.
Let me take this last call quickly. This last call. Good evening.
Hello, my brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Alan, and I was calling from Ghana to Snow here.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to give it to the Justice Ministry.
Okay. The Minister of Justice. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's what I want to be here. Okay. Gentlemen, let me try to go around the table before we can go into our other discussion. Dave, you listen to the callers. Some made reference to the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Finance, Health. I didn't hear anybody. Public Works, about 3 persons of 3 persons. But the bulk of them went to the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Finance. But let's hear from you amongst not from the callers now, but amongst the 5.
On the international scene, Sarah Besro Nyanti has done extremely well. You know, she led the campaign that resulted into Liberia winning a non-permanent seat on the UN Security Council. She led that campaign, and so many other roles she played that really brought Liberia on board the Committee of Nations. But I wouldn't consider her the best minister of the year.
Okay.
The reason is, look, if you visit the foreign ministry, you'll be disappointed. It's unkempt. That ministry hasn't been pinned for quite a long time. She doesn't have control. What she after they just traveling around the world. Yes, of course, her traveling, you know, the number of trips she's made across the world to, you know, yielded some fruit, favorable fruit for Liberia. Well, what's about the place that you say to work? What's about the place that people go to, do business in terms of Liberia's international relations? That foreign ministry building hasn't been pinned up for a long time. Besides that, If you go to the foreign ministry, as you arrive over there, the people who approach you and want to do business with you, even outside the building. That means that people are there, operating, approaching people who've gone there to do business, stopping them on the road, meeting them on the road, and asking them whether they can process their documents or renew their passports. That means there's no control. She has no control there. People doing their own thing to put money in their pockets.
Okay.
So Sarah Basil Nyanti, I wouldn't grade her to be the best minister because, yes, internationally, in terms of Liberia foreign relations, she's doing well. But where she sits to work, that Ministry of Foreign Affairs, you enter it. It's on camp. They asked me Peter for a long time.
So name your
and
best.
she doesn't care about that.
Name the best performer.
I don't have a best.
Amongst the five. Okay.
Amongst the five, I don't have a best.
Okay. Edwin.
Well, basically, I would say all 5 of them have done extremely well in terms of the roles that they play, where they took those institutions from. But if I would have to grade them above, or let's say 1, I would take the Minister of Finance, Augustine P. Gafwan, because we all know exactly where the economy were when they took over. Yes, Boima Kamara had a little struggling, picked up process, but Gav came and sailed through. And today we are proud to say Liberia has hit her first $1.2 billion in terms of budgetary allocations. Sure. He also led the negotiations for the MCC Compact. And as the president announced today, Liberia will be receiving a compact that will be higher than the one that we got before. Okay. He's also out there trying to seek more assistance. We heard about the Kuwaiti coming in. We heard about the Saudi, the UAE, and then also they're talking about development of an agricultural bank, for small farmers and all those things. So I think he's doing more, all right, and maybe he's not talking a lot, okay, but I think he has done a lot more in terms of...
So he's your best performing minister?
He's my best
Minister of Finance.
Minister of Finance.
All right, let's hear from you. Who do we go to? I'm sure you are there in the UAE, but you are following what's happening on ground. Who's your best performing minister amongst the 5 here?
Yeah, so in 2019, I traveled to Maryland County, Harper, and I had to pass through Nimba County to get to Ivory Coast before going all the way to Harper. And Minister of Public Works, for me, is the best performing minister because people can now travel from Monrovia to Harper so easily. They don't have to suffer the way I did. They don't have to pass through Ivory Coast like the former speaker did to go do campaign. I think that minister is one of the best. In fact, in my mind, is the best. If I were to include another best, would be Minister Sarah Beslow.
Okay, you don't have opportunity for to cast 2 ballots. No, only 1 so far. So thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes.
How can you declare the Minister of Public Works as the best when this is a guy who demolished structures, and where those structures are sitting have turned into dump sites?
Debate time, we're not debating it.
Those areas have turned to dump sites, and they don't look good in the city. Yes, the Minister of Public Works.
He is not best.
No.
Debate time, you selected your best. They didn't argue. They're the best best.
Most of the best. You demolish structures.
That's the best.
People are urinating there. And even
that's his best.
It's wrong.
Okay.
That's his best. That's the opinion.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to David. Let's go to Moses Sandy. Moses, who's your best performing amongst the 5 ministers here?
Look, let me say I agree with what Mr. Famula said. Whatever we're doing here tonight is subjective. So it's nothing to debate. I can come and say the Minister of Finance is the best performing minister based on my own yardstick.
Of course.
For me, I don't want to come across as saying this person is the best, this other person is the least. Because I do not live in the country. You guys live there, you know those people better than I do. I am looking from afar. However, the thing that I would like to strike here is that I know I've heard a lot of compliments for the Minister of Foreign Affairs, but I think the dent she has in her professional character is Ecotech, the Ghanaian scammers, the 25,000 scholarships or so, that people were going to be taken to Canada and the United States, and that turned out to be a fiasco. Liberians were duped. Even though the minister is doing everything well, but this remains a serious problem for her professional integrity. She made our president to appear publicly to endorse a group of people that duped Liberians. That's serious. Let me start there. Thank you.
Okay, let's hear from Reverend Dr. Crystal. Are you on, Reverend Crystal? Welcome to the program. Kindly unmute. Reverend Crystal. It seems that he's finding it difficult to come here. Okay, so gentlemen, let's move on. Let's try to transition now. Again, listeners and viewers, you are listening and viewing the Nighttime Heat tonight. This program it's on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Like we said again the other day, we're trying to solicit some resources to go full week from Mondays up to Friday. We're hoping that before 2026 we can be able to get some donor coming in to help. This program is basically not a program that beats on the government or beats on the opposition. This is the program again that embraces all of the positives of the government and also condemns all the negatives of the government. Likewise, the opposition embraces this program embraces the positives of the opposition and also condemns the negatives of the opposition. And that's the reason why we have the Nighttime Heat tonight. But gentlemen, let's try to transition now. We heard that the Senate has passed the budget, but let me quickly read this, and then also the Senate also ratified the petroleum contracts. Let me read this quickly. The Liberian legislature passes the 2026 national budget as Senate concurs with House. The Liberian legislature has passed the 2026 national budget, with the Senate concurring with the House of Representatives. The budget passed is in the amount of US 1.249 billion, the largest national budget in Liberia's history. The budget makes significant provisions for the payment of both domestic and external debts, aimed at strengthening Liberia's financial credibility and restoring confidence among our local and international partners and investors. A sustainable and substantial portion of the budget is allocated to infrastructure development, particularly the construction and rehabilitation of roads across the country. These investments are intended to improve national connectivity, boost trade, and enhance access to markets, especially for rural communities. Okay, then let me cross over quickly to the aspect of the Senate. We're going to play the video as well. Majority of senators on Thursday, that was yesterday, voted to pass 8 offshore oil block agreements involving international energy companies, Total Energies and Oriental Petroleum, concurring with the House of Representatives after weeks of scrutiny and internal consultations. The Senate approved the Total Energies agreement by a narrow margin of 21 votes while the Oriental Petroleum deal was endorsed by 20 votes, reflecting divisions within the chamber over how the agreements should be handled among. Okay, now, gentlemen, let's try to play this video. This is where this story was coming to name the senators, but let's try to play the video quickly, and then we talk about this. You're listening to the Night Time Heat. Let's play the video.
For example, I vote yes to all.
Yes. Vote yes.
Senator Westerkamp Henson.
Yes. I vote no to all.
J. Blabo Brown.
As long as these important bills were not debated on this floor, I vote no to all. I vote yes for all.
Vote yes to all.
I put you in the committee. Yes.
Senator Zoe Mayapen.
I vote yes for all.
Yes to all. Cyrus.
Hey, wait, I'm yes to all. I vote yes to all. Yes. Yes to all. I vote no to Oriental, the very bad. I vote yes to Total.
Senator Wellington G. Smith.
As a coastal county whose interest was not in the concession, I vote against all. Honestly, I voted no. I vote no to all.
To have chair.
Yes to all.
Vote yes.
After participated meetings, I vote yes.
I vote yes for total and no.
Why is it Senate? Why not the Senate probably I can do that?
Six. 2/3.
Mr. President of the Senate, distinguished members, distinguished members of the Senate, total 21 votes, and Oranto 20 votes.
Okay, so gentlemen, we saw what happened on Capitol Hill. We just played the video. This indicates that all the petroleum contracts were also passed by the Senate. The Senate just concurred with the House of Representatives. Let's begin with you. You know, normally when it comes to the issue of the oil and all of that, you know, we'd like to hear from you first. You know, you've been in the employ of NOCAR, and before you cross over to LEC. And let's hear from you. Finally, Oriental and Total, they are all, and the national budget, they are all history now.
Well, so basically, I will start with the issue of the passage of the bill. The person who wrote that article did not do, justice to the discussions, because if you have 25 senators and 20 voted, and 21 voted, that's majority. Even if all 30, because all 30 of them were not there, but at the session yesterday had 25 senators. So actually it was majority. And the law says that majority of both houses should pass a bill before it becomes a law. But however, I think it was a great idea by the Liberian Senate, because I've been one person who actually been, pushing for the passage of these concessions. There were a lot of debates done. There were a lot of issues that were raised. Some were genuine. Some were basically based on the lack of understanding by majority of our leaders, because the oil and gas sector is actually new to Liberia. But then there was some consultation made. Some of them even reached out to some of us who have, backgrounds, and we gave them our own ideas. And we said to them, the best that we can do for our country, let's pass these concessions and invite the people to come to do exploration, because if they don't do exploration, we don't find. So every time we see them, we say oil block, oil block. Those are not oil blocks, they are offshore acreage. And we still say that as the people come in, they're taking 100% risks to come and invest their money. If they don't find, they pack their bag and go. Nobody pays them back. So they come and spend $1 billion in Liberia. If they find, good, we sit on the table and say, look, this is how the production sharing will be. This is where you take until you can recover your costs. But if, God forbid, they don't find anything, they pack their bag and leave. Now, many of the arguments were basically on Oronto, because Total has, a big name. Total been out there. So now people try to judge Oronto from its past history, to say, well, they were here before, they came, they took blood, they went, they flip it over, they make some money. But our argument was that it is not wrong in the industry to do firm in and firm out. You come and buy, you come and rent from it, because basically we're not selling these blocks. It's actually like rental, all right? So you take it, look at it. If you have interest in it, you do the drilling. If you find, we give it to you maybe for 20 years because you made discovery. So within 20 years time, we know you'll be able to recover your cost, and we will be also able to get a significant portion of our resources that will be extracted from there. So based on that, we say, okay, let the people come in. Now, and then people start saying, okay, they don't have the technical expertise. And my argument is that 99.9% of even the major oil companies, the Chevron, the ExxonMobil, they don't have geological or drilling companies within their companies sitting there. They hire these services because there are people who provide those services. So when Total are coming here, Total is not going to bring a rig that Total owns. Total is going to rent a rig from a company, and that company will send people to come and operate that rig to do the drilling for them. So what we needed to have looked at was that, do Oronto have the financial strength to be able to undertake the exploration? If that is yes, then there's no issues. So for me, it is good. Now, to the budget aspect, there was a lot of debate. And I think in the wisdom of the leadership of the Senate, it was good to pass the budget on yesterday, because the Senate is now on recess until January. Now, if you don't pass the budget, we've changed the budget year under President Weah, and that was a very good idea. We should give President Weah kudos for that. The budget year used to be from July, and then I think to July of the next year. So we're not actually dealing with the calendar year like the other countries within the sub-region, all right? So they decided to go from January to December because the budget is low. So once that budget year elapses, when you go outside of the budget year to spend, it's illegal, except where the law gave them the authority to spend to term. But even in that now, that's where most of these outspending and other things can happen. So if the Senate leadership is saying that, look, going forward, we have to make sure that before we go for the Christmas break, because we're not coming back until January, the budget should be approved. I think it was good.
Okay.
Also, the issue of Ivanhoe, I think it was also passed yesterday. Some senators raised, concern. Those are genuine concern. But again, we need to actually look at these concessions from different angle and see what benefit is it going to bring to the our country. Liberia has a very bad history with these concessions. So I think it's good now that we're having this debate. It's been discussed. Gradually we'll get there. But I want to say a big thank you to the leadership of the Senate for.
Okay. Let's hear from you. Your takeaway, Moses. You listen to what we read. The Senate has concurred with the House of Representatives in the passage of the 1.2 billion in the ratification of Total Energy, or Rental, and the rest of them. What's your takeaway?
Well, look, Sawbud, I've always told you guys consistently that we have a legislature that is considered an extension of the executive branch of government. You know, when you have the senior political advisor who refer to herself as the spouse of the speaker, what do you expect from the speaker? You have the Senate Pro Tem, who is a friend of the president. What do you expect? Everything in the legislature is on the basis of numbers. That's what makes it real difficult being a legislator. You can make all the intellectual arguments, all the intelligent analysis. When it comes to vote, if you don't have the numbers, you're out. You saw the analysis regarding Orento. People who are experts in the business said this company has no history. This company is not a good company. Yet, our people voted in the numbers for Orento. Senator DeLong, Senator Yombi Kanga, they voted yes. I'm calling the names because people there, won't refer to themselves as the rescue team. They voted yes. What came from the House of Representatives, it was just a matter of what? Transition. It came to them. They said, hey, let's move it on. You will have this consistently. And I maintain, I know people will get upset, but I maintain that legislature is just an extension of the executive branch of government. That's my personal take. Thank you.
Okay. All right. You said yours. Let's hear from you, Oliver, regarding the passage of the 1.2 billion and ratification of those conferences.
Saba, it's always interesting when I listen to people and, always feeling or thinking that they know more than the elected officials of our country, who we consider to be elders. That is the beauty of democracy. You see, debating and voting is a normal practice for the legislature. The House of Senate concurring with the lower house to pass the budget, it was just very good, as Famula said, so that we stay in line with the budget year. As it relates to the petroleum deal, in the wisdom of the Senate, I think it was good because, after 25, if you had 21 person voting, people understand exactly what they did. And so I see nothing wrong with that. We only need to pray that those agreements will actually work in favor of the people. We elected them as our elders, and so whatever they do, we believe that they are working with wisdom, and we can only support them to do the right thing. Thank you so much.
Okay, so you do agree with Moses that it shouldn't come as a surprise. The passage of the budget, the ratification of those contracts should not come as it shouldn't come as a surprise because the legislature is just an extension of the executive.
Sabbath, I will not dignify that, honestly. I do not agree with him because these are separate branches of government. So if you say it is an extension, then you say something contrary to the Constitution. Okay, the executive is a separate branch of government. They are working at that level. The legislature is a separate branch of government. So if somebody says it is not an extension, I don't know from which planet or from which document they are reading, but as per the Constitution of Liberia, there are two separate branches and there's no extension here.
Okay. All right. Let's go there. Reverend Dr. Christo, are you on? Kindly unmute.
I'm seeing you from here, but
Okay, but I don't know. Okay, Dave, let's hear from you. You listened to the reading regarding the passage of the budget, the ratification of the Oriental, the Total Energies. What's your take?
To admit some others, I'm not an expert in this particular area.
Okay.
But what I can say is that look, in the past years, Liberia didn't have a good image in terms of paying its debts. And so the passage of the budget, I understand the budget has made significant provision for the payment of both domestic and external debts.
Mhm.
And that has strengthened Liberia's credibility, in terms of the payment of debts. And the other side of it is that, look,
but this is what I want to. This is what I want to get your take. Moses indicated that those major instruments were passed, or the passage of those major instruments. It's not news, because Moses believes that the legislature is just an extension of the executive, and against the backdrop that you heard when the speaker said he's a regime speaker, so you expect that whatever comes from the executives will just have a smooth passage. Likewise, the leadership of the Senate, you find the vice president, in the Senate, you find Yombli Kanga, Senator Yombli Kanga. They are all in Dara's deal. They all came from the rescue administration.
Yeah.
So Moses believes that absolutely no issue of that nature will express any issues.
But the executive has good relations with the other branches of government. And as far as I'm concerned, they are all working in the interest of the government, or in the interest of Liberia as a whole and its people. So whatever decisions they think are good for the Liberian people are the decisions they make. For example, they made a significant provision for the payment of debts, both external and domestic. And that has restored the confidence that has made Liberia to be a credit-worthy country. The fact that the current budget, there is money in it to clear Liberia's debt. So countries or international partners that did not have confidence in Liberia in terms of its payment of its debts have now, believed in Liberia that this country is credit-worthy. So, whatever decisions the legislature or the legislators must have made, it doesn't mean that those decisions are influenced by the executive. In fact, even if they made the decisions as a result of influence from the executive, that also shows that the executive has good relations with the other branches of government, which means the executive is coordinating or collaborating with the other branches of government in terms of making decisions that favor the Liberian people and the Liberia as a whole.
Okay, so Ed, yes, go ahead.
Just give me a chance. Let me provide a little bit of information regarding my stance. When I say the legislature is on the executive government, I'm simply saying that the legislature exists as an independent group in theory, but in reality, there's no record since the ascendancy of this administration. This legislature has not shown anything to prove is independent. Everything the executive wants, the executive gets. The executive will send nominees to the very legislature. People would like the moral credential, intellectual credential, work experience. The Senate what? Confirms that. They send bills to the House of Representatives, bills not in the interest of the country. They would bring in experts. Experts will identify the flaws, and they will still pass those bills. The records are in the public domain. It is not debatable. The legislature exists in theory. Let's be honest about it.
Okay.
Well. I think we need to provide some level of civil education. You know, the idea of the separation of power is not for opposition within the government. The legislature, the judiciary, the executive, they work as one government. Now, even the Constitution said there are three separate but coordinated branches. It is not for you to say, because we are the legislature, so anything the executive say will push against it. No, that's not the intent of the framework. The intent of the framework was that for checks and balance. So even if instruments come before the legislature and there are issues within those instruments, there are honor obligations to send it back to the executive, say rectify and send it back to us so we can pass on it. It is not based on opposition. And this is democracy everywhere in the world. Even in the United States, that my big brother said, that's how it works. The Democrat was against President Trump's budget. Did it pass? It did pass. So and I want him to name me one person that President Trump nominated in the United States that was rejected. That's how democracy works. This is not a fighting thing to say, oh, you know what, because we are in the legislature, so we're going to stand to the executive. When you do that, you cripple the state. And that's not the intent of the framework of the Constitution, Chief.
Okay. And I agree with
let me clarify quick.
One minute, Moses.
It's not a matter of one branch becoming combative. No. Because we are the legislators or we are in the legislature. So whatever comes from the executive will turn it down. It's not a matter.
No, I don't think that's the message or the argument of Moses Sunday.
No, that is his argument.
No, his argument
when you say the legislature is rubber stamp, it's an extension of the executive.
Yeah.
That's what you mean.
If you say it's and the legislature is rubber stamp, whatever comes from the executive is what the legislature agrees with. And that we shouldn't look at it from that perspective.
Okay,
let's look at it from the perspective.
Let Moses come in to provide more positions to the argument. Moses, let's hear from you.
Look, I like the intellectual debate. What I would like to tell Mr. Pomeland and my brother David Tagbe, they are singing to the choir. The man we talked about knows exactly that we have three independent but coordinate branches of government. It means that they complement one another's effort. They have to work in unison. But that does not in any way insinuate if you see something that is wrong, and because the executive wants it, you must conform. And that is what happening in the country.
No, that's not true.
But most of there's ambiguity.
Go ahead.
Mr. Tagbe, I was told that when you engage in an intellectual discussion, you come with an open mind.
Yeah, Moses.
Means you become tolerant. You listen to people when they are talking. You don't
go ahead, Moses. I'm sorry
for that. Yeah. So I'm saying to you guys, and I want you to dispute this. You have people who appear some graphic example. People appear before the Senate, they lie on an oath. And because the executive wanted those people confirmed, they were confirmed. Don't you see a compromised legislature from there?
No.
All right, look, let us not make this an intellectual debate. Let's move
No,
on.
Comment.
Yeah.
The ambiguity I'm talking about. The ambiguity I'm talking about.
Dialogue now.
The
1 minute, Oliver, 1 minute. Yeah.
The ambiguity I'm talking about, Moses' argument is that people lied on oath as his claims. Who are the people that lie on oath? That lie on oath? What did they say? What is supposed to No, I'm asking you.
Jerry, let me just take it from the point.
Let me clarify for you.
He said some things here.
Mr. Tyler, you asked a question. Let me clarify for you.
Moses.
Yes, let me clarify something.
No, let me ask a question. Let me clarify.
Is it a dialogue?
Yeah, Mr. Tyler, you talk about ambiguity. And you want me to clarify, I made a claim, and who are those people? When Steve Queer, a minister of state, appeared at the Senate, when Senator Dawes Dillon asked him about the project in Lofa County, listen, wait, let me say something. He said that. Listen now, my man. This is what I told you. When you engage in intellectual discussion, you listen.
Allowing to speak.
Oliver, you should learn to listen.
Yeah, what I'm saying is we're allowing to speak.
We're not sitting at Atai Center.
Yeah,
I
sure.
want you guys to listen.
Yeah,
All
sure.
right. So I'm saying to you, this guy appeared at the Senate, and the Senate quizzed him. One of the senators, the chair on foreign affairs, they don't ask him, what is unfolding in Lofa County? What is your take about this project? The man sits a door away from the office of the president. He said he had no idea. And what did less than 2 months? The government came and confirmed.
So does that mean that he lied on an oath?
Of course he did.
No.
I mean, come on, man.
You know, let me help you. No, Chief, let me help you.
Let me finish my thought. The man lied on an oath.
No, that's not true.
Fatima Bintou Salif. Okay, my man. My next person said, this is why I talk about tolerance. Listen, my man, listen.
It's not a dialogue.
I am saying, I'm giving you another graphic example here. Fatima Bintou Salif, the deputy for urban affairs at the Ministry of Internal Affairs, appeared before the very Senate and misrepresented the truth on an oath. The Senate made this woman to come. Listen, the Senate made this lady to come and go public and made that she lie on an oath. She did, and the state confirmed her. You have a Speaker of the House of Representatives who went public and say, "Hey, I'm a religious speaker." If all these examples don't tell you that you have a compromised legislature, then I beg to differ. Thank you.
You know, Slobber. Let me say this. I'm a student of constitutional law, right? And sometimes when we try to explain these things, people try to, the legislature, the Senate, has a constitutional duty to confirm presidential nominee. The Constitution gave them, they have that unilateral authority to do so. So when you appear before the Senate, whatever you say, they are human beings. They take this as face value. It is left with them to analyze it. It left with them to check behind you. If they see the reasons to confirm you, what is this personal issues that you have with this lady? That every time we come here, you want to bring Fatima Salif issue up. She's been confirmed. She's the minister. Let's pass on it. Now, you talk about the minister at that time that was designated. This man was not minister of state. He was designated as minister of state. So he was not next door to the president. When when the late Minister Grisby died, it was Minister Mamaka Ability who was acting. And this morning, the president admitted that even he himself
did not know
anything, because the people were trying to hide it from him. And he gave a reason. He said the reason why they hide it from him, had they bring it up to him, he would have said no because of his connection to FOIA. He said it this morning. Then you say, because the man said that I don't know about it, it means that he lied on oath. No. If he doesn't know about it, he doesn't know about it.
Okay, for example,
let's be critical here, man. On a very serious note.
Let's take, for example, the current Minister of Foreign Affairs that everyone is commending for good work. You remember what you went through before even a confirmation. Even insiders of the ruling Unity Party did not want to be confirmed. And at the end of the day, she was confirmed because the senators who are considered wise men knew that she would have been a very good Minister of Foreign Affairs. And she has exhibited that. She has exhibited that, and she continues to exhibit that. So doesn't mean that the confirmation of Cyril Besler Nyatin doesn't mean that the Senate was a rubber stamp Senate at that time. No, it wasn't the case. So had they not confirmed, had the senators not confirmed Cyril Besler Nyatin, that would have meant that Liberia would have missed a very good foreign minister who's making inroads that people are commending. People are considering all the radio stations today. So she's the #1 performing minister of the Boakas government. Though people had their reservations inside of the Unity Party, they had reservations. They didn't want to be confirmed.
Of course.
They didn't mean that the executive bribed the Senate to confirm.
All about
So those are the issues.
To your end, what Mr. Taba is saying, Mr. Besler now become the rejected the rejected stone has now become the cornerstone of the government. As you said rightly, I mean, there were some folks, even in the Unity Party, that they want this woman to be confirmed on the basis of whatever they thought was not right. So the Senate is a house of elders. They use wisdom to make decisions. They don't make decisions on emotions. So for somebody to say, simply because they are making decisions to push the government forward, makes them to be a rubber stamp Senate. I think that statement is so strong. I mean, look, the government is one government. Legislature, executive branch, judiciary is one government working towards one simple goal: to better up the life of the Liberian people. They are not fighting.
Like the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Blessed to the
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. I think you did justice. Yeah. You want to come in again?
Yeah, just a second. I just want to clarify something. You see, when you engage in an intellectual discussion, you take on all the personal issue.
Wow.
It is so unfortunate that my brother family, who is a senior student in law school, will stoop to that level. He comes, he says, I don't know what this man has against this woman. I mean, family, I'm disappointed as a lawyer in prison.
Consistently bring this thing out every day.
Oh, you live in the US. It's possible.
Listen, my man, listen. This is nothing personal. I want you to dispute what I'm saying, whether it is factual or not. The lady came publicly and made it down. She made sport. And you call that what? The man has something personal.
No human being in this world is infallible.
Do not reduce it. Do not reduce it intellectual engagement to a personality context.
But that's
It is
Thank you.
possible that you have personal issues
Okay.
with the
Oh,
madam.
come on, man.
I mean, both
Come
of
on, man.
you are in the same field, and you
I
live in the
don't
US
think
together.
personal issues.
Yes, consistent.
No, I differ
possible.
with that. I differ with that. Moses was just trying to cite instances where
Every day,
But
day,
our instance
when
was
they see a
sad.
woman,
Nothing wrong with that. So I don't think that Moses got anything personal against Fatima or personal against any of the government.
He's
nominees.
consistently bring this thing out whenever we
in the
talk in
same
the
field,
legislature.
Gentlemen,
they
we have
live
to
in the US
transition.
together.
We have to transition. Yeah, they live in the US together. Yeah, in fact, they been the
Possible.
first panelists on this program. Gentlemen, let's try to transition. Let's try to transition. You're listening to the Nighttime Heat, rated on Prime FM, Monrovia 105.5. We are about to transition. You know, this program, it's basically a program for, on this program, we agreed and disagreed, like we said, this program is not basically intended to beat on anybody, but it's also it's basically intended to heal and to beat on people as well. If the government did something positive, we're going to celebrate the government. That's our government. But if the government slipped again, we have to make sure to criticize or beat on the government as well. So no one should to think that these guys on the program, they are anti-government or they are pro-government. No, this is a balanced issue. Gentlemen, let's try to transition quickly. Yesterday, the Liberia National Police invited Mr. Mulba Molo of Stand, and that invitation followed Stand's recent protests, in which some individuals were arrested, for acts police believe were unconstitutional, apparently. But yesterday, Mulba drove to the police headquarters. He was invited, and after a few hours, he was interrogated and spoke with by the police. And then later on, we saw him driving out of the police station. Now, gentlemen, do you think all of these sort of manners and fashions, sometimes exhibited by our state security, especially the Liberia National Police, a man just held his protest ended, although there were individuals that were arrested for acts, police then were not necessary. And then after 24 hours, we invited the head of the protest. Don't you think it will be seen as further intimidation, especially Mulba Molo being from the opposition bloc? Let me hear from you, David, quickly.
That's not intimidation. I don't consider that intimidation.
Okay.
The first thing, the same government that invited Mulba Molo was the same government that gave the Stand a permit to protest.
Mm-hmm.
And the protest, the permission was given under conditions or on a particular condition.
Mm-hmm.
Now look, you have your constitutional right to protest. But these are the conditions. If you go contrary to the conditions set by the Ministry of Justice or the police, quite frankly, you are going to be invited to be questioned for whatever and anything that happened.
Mm-hmm. That makes you be caused.
That, for example, the protest was expected to be a peaceful protest, as the Stand promised that it would have been a peaceful protest. You say you want to have your protest or deliver your statement, whatever statement or grievances you had, you want to deliver those grievances on the grounds of the executive mansion. The security said, for security reasons, you can't deliver your message on the premises of the executive mansion. So that means that there was a red line drawn, that you did not have to cross that red line. But if you force yourself to cross that red line, quite frankly, you bear the consequences. And those are the consequences Mulba Molo and others were faced with. The mistake the government.
So, in another word, so are you saying that I want to read beyond what you've said?
Yeah.
Are you saying that when protests were held yesterday on the grounds or close to the executive mansion at the time, it was genuine, it was necessary, it was legal for protests to have been held there?
Well, Sawa, look, as you know, look, there are conditions change at any time. If a protest was allowed to be held on the grounds of the executive mansion, or even if protesters were allowed to present a statement on the grounds of the executive mansion few years ago or last year, this year the conditions are not favorable. So they are disallowed to read the statement on the grounds of the executive mansion. So not because it happened yesterday, it should happen today. Because yesterday it happened, maybe the conditions were favorable. But this year, it can be.
So why conditions will be favorable? I'm coming. Why conditions will be favorable at the time, and this time conditions are not favorable?
The reason is that, look, if you're having a protest, you say you have a peaceful protest, and before the day of the protest, you are making utterances on the radio and in the public that are counterproductive to the sustenance of peace and stability. Quite frankly,
But that was a serious yesterday.
Okay,
let me hold you
I don't know what
there.
particular instance you're making reference to.
The mistake, the protest bring back our money protest. You heard some of the you heard some of the utterances that were made, right? And you saw how the protest was to the extent that protesters took coal and coal spoons and coke spoons and they decided to go and cook on the grounds of the executive branch. It was after which they were dispelled. But the point is, what I'm saying, if the conditions were favorable at the time, why not the conditions are favorable?
Because why not today? Because you had a government, a CDC-run government, headed by George Manawia. Today you have a United Party government. So that would no, I'm telling you. And another thing is, the problem I have with the police too is that the police made yesterday, yes, I know when it's under such circumstances, you arrest people uncontrollably, arrest people, then at the end of the day, you know, weed out the bad apples or the good apples. And that what exactly happened? For example, the police arrested market women who were on their way to go buy their goods. Arrested them, wasted their time. At the end of the day, let them go. The police went and also named people, made them or declared them persons of interest on grounds that they participated in the protest. Well, at the end of the day, for example, I like to particularize Archie Pompon. Archie Pompon was not part of the protest, but the police named him or declared him a person of interest. His name was in the newspapers, and at the end of the day, when Archie Pompon was turned himself in, accompanied by a lawyer, turned himself in, it was proven that Archie did not even go close to where the protest was held. Even, fortunately for Archie Pompon, when he got to the police headquarters yesterday, in my presence, because I was part of those, because when I heard that they were accompanying him to the police headquarters, I suggested that I be part of the team. And I wondered, as a journalist, as a neutral or independent person, I wondered. And fortunately for Archie Pompon, or coincidentally, Mama Molo, who is the organizer of the protest, was also being questioned. And Mama Molo said, look, Archie was not part of that was not part of the protest. I have not seen Archie for
so then why did the police name him
so the police
person of interest?
The police named him. This is the mistake of the police I'm talking about. The police, before you name people persons of interest, or you declare them persons of interest, that means you must have thoroughly done your homework and investigated, and not expose people to public ridicule or expose them to risk by naming them persons of interest when in fact you did not do your homework.
So for me, let's get for me, I will start by saying that we need to educate our people. I think this is one of the biggest mistakes we keep making. I sat under a professor called Justice Philip A.Z. Banks, and he gave us the whole history of the formation of the Constitution of Liberia, where that idea came from. There's nowhere in the Constitution that says people have the right to protest. Article 17 says that people have the right to peacefully assemble, to petition their elected representative for redress of their grievances. And there's a reason why that particular article was enshrined in the Constitution. That particular component of fundamental rights was borrowed from India. When the Constitutional Committee decided to write the Constitution,
I think everyone also should knowledge
all right?
that.
No, Chief.
So be repetitive.
Chief, I'm coming now. No, because you know about it, but there are people in the public don't know about it. All right? So the idea came all look, they put a component of the issue of fundamental right. And this basically came from the 1979 or 80 arrest riot, with what happened with government heavy-handedness, you know. Now, going forward now, every time we come on the radio, people say, oh, people have the right to protest. People have the right to protest. No, you have your right to assemble, to petition your elected representative. I also have the fundamental right to use that role. So when you go and block that role, it's infringement on my right. It is the right of the police to tell you that you cannot block the road because you have a grievance, but Mr. Famula don't have a grievance. He has to go to the hospital. His daughter is sick. That's against my right. So every time you guys come and say people have the right to protest, people have the right to protest, we misinforming the public. The law says you can peacefully assemble to petition your representative for a grievances.
The civil government are coming. Are coming.
Yeah.
While it is true, but let me welcome Assistant Finance Minister Henry Yankwa. Minister Yankwa, welcome to the program quickly. Kindly unmute, Mr. Minister. Mr. Minister, welcome to the program. Okay, I think somewhere. Now, is he on now? Mr. Minister, welcome to the program. Yeah, welcome.
Yes, Sawa, please let me help Mr. Famula understand something here. A little bit of
complete my statement, please, Chief.
Okay.
You just interrupted me.
Just complete, and then you
Go ahead.
Not because we had demonstration yesterday before the executive mansion, so it's right. You go to other countries, take for example Ghana, right? Where you have a population of almost 7 million in Accra. You don't see people blocking the roads to protest. In fact, the Ghanaian government is now saying that if you want to protest, go to the National Square. Your representative will go there to take whatever grievances you have from you to address it. We need to reach that level. We have small roads. What happens the other day? People's properties were damaged. Cars' windshields were broken. Who's going to pay for it? Those were not part of the protest. They were driving, they're driving by their own stuff. And those guys went there and started throwing stones and damage for property.
All right, I think you made the point. Moses, just come in quickly. Don't go to Oliver.
Yeah, look, let's do a little bit of academic exercise here. The world free assembly. Free assembly. Listen, the phrase free assembly.
Peaceful.
My man, listen. Let's be more.
You say free assembly, it's a peaceful assembly.
All right. So the freedom of assembly, okay? I want you to listen, please, Mr. Famula. I'm not a lawyer. You're a lawyer. You know it better than everyone of us here. But this is what I want you to understand. I want everyone, including the people out there, to listen to. I just want to counter check what you were saying. You are in error. And I will read out verbatim. What is in the public domain. This is why it says freedom of assembly is the broader constitutional right to peacefully gather.
Which article you reading?
Oh, my man, I'm not reading. I'm trying to define for you what a protest is. And what is free assembly?
definition. I'm
My
reading
man,
from
allow me
the
to fight. Oh, come
It
on.
says,
My man,
read
you're
it.
becoming disruptive now. You are in error. You don't want to be
But
corrected.
you want to educate me on something that you don't know?
No,
Read
my
from the
man,
Constitution what it says.
listen. My man, be open-minded, please.
They got 100 ways to define things. So I
Yeah,
will not take
but-
a definition. I will take what the Constitution says. That's not what you say.
So let the man learn
My
now.
man, will you allow me to speak, please?
You
My
can
man,
say you
you're a
want to.
lawyer. Is that how you guys do at the Louis Underground School of Law?
Chief,
Is that
you
how
will not
do
say you want to
it?
educate me and you try to take the Constitution provision.
The both of you on pause. Oliver can come in. Oliver can come in. Let me put a both of you.
Yeah, thank you, Saba. And so,
I just wanted to complete someone, please.
1 minute, Moses, you'll come back, but let Oliver come in.
yeah, Moses. So let me continue with your education. Maybe it could go back to you. So Article 14 of the Liberian Constitution states that every person has the right to assemble peacefully and to petition the government for redress of grievances, as the formula said rightly. What is not clear in this provision is where they should go to assemble. But then we will understand that if they say petition their lawmakers, obviously they will go to where the lawmakers are. In other countries, they designate specific areas that people should go to assemble peacefully. In the case of Liberia, it is not just clear. And so, with the protests of December 17, the guys were demanding that they wanted to go to the executive mansion, present their petition to the president, and no one else. I watched it live. They wanted to take the whole street going. The police said, no, walk this way so that other Liberians will have the right to use the other side. It was becoming confrontational. And as you already know, people got hurt because of the way they were proceeding. People, property got damaged in the process. I saw Mr. Bakar Salif, whose vehicle was attacked, the windshield broken. I saw that. And so how do you call that peaceful? So now, the police inviting Mr. Malu, I think it was right, because immediately after that protest, Mr. Malu started saying police were shooting at his home. I mean, Liberian police went, opened fire, shooting at his home. There's the same young man in 2009. I went to Ghana when Obama went to visit Ghana and said he spoke with Obama 10 minutes in the corridor, one-on-one.
Let's forget about that.
That to do with yesterday.
Yeah,
What I'm saying, listen. Sebo, I'm linking something here. The police invited him yesterday. He said
when Moses cited the instance of our friend Fatima, Edwin had a problem with that. So there's no need.
I want to say something now.
No,
people laugh freely, especially Mama Molu. You know, Mr. Sandy studied something in psychology. I think he's a
psychologist.
Yes, psychologist. So there's something called pathological lying.
Yeah. No, Jonathan, I am on the show. I don't want you to misrepresent me.
Okay, fine. So you are a psychologist, right?
Will you allow me to speak?
Okay, who are you, sir?
I am on this show. I am not a psychologist.
And then who are you then?
Oh, my man, you allow me to speak?
But get a better talk. Speak, man.
Can I learn? I'm not calling your title. I often hear you talk about mental health. So I was just saying something.
If you don't know, it's always good to ask questions. Say, Mr. Sandy, what is your
You're not psychology. Are you a psychiatrist or what?
You're going to call it.
Let me make a psychiatrist.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Will you listen to me?
Yeah,
I have a graduate degree Masters with 19 years clinical experience and managerial experience in social work administration.
So what title can we describe?
So I am a clinical social worker.
Okay, clinical social worker.
So I'm not a psychologist.
Okay, so let me learn.
Thank you.
Okay, right? Yeah. The reason why I reference Mr. Sunday, I often hear him talk about mental health.
Yes.
Trying to criticize
Clinical is mental health, yeah.
for what he's doing. But not to conclude, I was about to tell you that Mr. Molu said they were shooting at his home. It was concerning. Police had right to call him.
Yeah, I think you said this before. So let's hold you there now. Let's hold you there. You made a point already. Let's try to welcome Assistant Minister Henry Yankwo. Mr. Minister, welcome to the program.
I can Assistant Minister have a problem with his internet. That is appalling.
Assistant Minister of Finance, welcome to the program.
Assistant Minister of Finance.
Mr. Yankwo.
Assistant Minister of Finance doesn't have an effective internet.
But he's speaking, but it seems we're not. So you have to.
No, I mean, you're not supposed to sit down like that, man. Please,
Go off and come back on.
Sometimes it's not the internet; it is the equipment that he's using.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
gentlemen,
I think we've done justice to. Okay, go off and come back on. So
maybe the microphone,
gentlemen.
Yeah, something.
So we've done justice to.
So please, I wanted to help Mr. Famula understand the difference.
No, you can't help me, please. You can't help me.
To understand the difference between.
You can't help me.
Give him a chance.
Okay, let's go ahead.
Go ahead.
This is what I was about to read to you, and I want the people to listen. This is not my creation, it's online. This is why it says freedom of assembly is the broader constitutional right to what? Peacefully gather. Why a protest is a specific type of assembly. Focus on what? Voicing opposition or demanding a change. So what those guys did, Mobile Money and his group, that was a protest because they said the president must either lead or leave. They were demanding. When people go about flipping tires, flipping people's vehicles, breaking into cars, breaking into people's property, that is what we call riot. So when you don't understand that as a lawyer.
Okay, so Yes, man. Please wait. Let me address it. He's talking to me. Okay. Now, let me put this disclaimer. I'm not yet a lawyer, and I keep saying this to you on the
show.
On the show every day. I'm a student at law. Now, what I try to educate you and most of our people is to tell you that there is nowhere in this constitution that it talks about protest. And I will read for you verbatim because you went on AI to find information to give me. I will read for you verbatim what Article 17 of this 1986 Constitution says. That Article 17 of the 1986 Constitution says that all persons at all time in an orderly and peaceful manner shall have the right to assemble and consult upon the common good, to instruct their representative to petition the government or other functionary for the redress of grievances, and to associate fully with others or refuse to associate in political parties, trade unions, and other organizations. There is nowhere in this constitution that talks about Liberian has the right to protest in the street. That's why I try to educate you. So you don't come back to me, who have had a legal education in constitutional law, to say you want to teach me. No, you can't do that. It's an insult to me.
And another thing,
you don't do that.
I think what should be investigated here is who provoked the violence that erupted on Wednesday.
Look, Mr. Famula,
who provoked it?
Mr. Famula, what happened this week with Stan was protest. It was a protest. A group of people assembled to demand. They made a demand.
Moses, honor our criminal procedure law, and I said it on the radio before, is a crime for you to assemble in a public place to block other people's way. The police has the right. The police has the right to as a crime or infractions. And when people's property gets damaged, you have the right to call those who actually formulated that rally. You have the right to call them to caution him because people's property got damaged. It is a statutory law. So please.
I am not disputing that. I just want us to understand the difference between the two. What is free assembly? Free assembly is a group of people can gather.
You are giving general definition.
Definition. I don't have to go to law school.
Yeah, general the definition.
Okay, so gentlemen, we have to transition. All right, I think we spent sufficient time on this discussion. We have to transition. The issue with Molba Molu and the police. Molba Molu went to the police headquarters yesterday, and later on he was released. In fact, he was asked by journalists whether he will return. He told journalists, well, he's already spoken. He's given the police his version of the story. So let's try to follow, the situation or the issue between Stand and the police and see how it ends. So, gentlemen, let's try to do justice to our last discussion. We're trying to upload the video, but I don't know. Producers trying to upload the video. The speaker of Occupy, I saw got a video. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Rachel Cohn.
The minister.
Okay, I'll welcome the minister. Mr. Minister, let me welcome you quickly. Welcome again to the program. Mr. Minister, Henry Yankwa, welcome.
He's muted.
The minister is muted.
Mr. Minister, if you are muted, can you unmute yourself? Welcome. Wow, I think the minister has a problem with out of this the equipment he's using. Maybe you can go off again and come back on. Let's see what happens.
Maybe equipment antiquated.
If there's somebody at home that can help the minister, man. This is technology age.
Yeah, he needs to.
He needs some
help.
So,
gentlemen, like we said, we have to do justice to our last discussion tonight. Like I was saying, the speaker is on the tour, and he's been meeting. Okay, let's. That's the video. Okay, let's try. Okay, he's on the tour, and he's been meeting some citizens. And I think the last he met a group. He met where some journalists, and he spoke with them. After which, I think the journalists did an interview with Mandela Cooper, who's in the office, who's at the executive mansion, traveling with the speaker. We're also going to listen to her as well. But let's see what we can play the video quickly, and then we can do our own discussion from there. Let's listen to the video.
Government agency like the Guinean or security food, the government security food, probably working with the nation probably the staff of the country. But most of them are here for greener passion. If they are here on a friendly manner, the Africans, of course they might be. If they are here on a different issue that we're yet to determine getting out of the country,
you visited several institutions yesterday, and the catalog so many challenges that they are for you, most especially with what you're watching out for when we talk about making institutions autonomous agency. How do you intend to work on these challenges and how soon?
The good thing I love about the principal at the Motorato High School was very known. He took one student to kill birds. So like I said in one of my deliberations, you are praying to call for sources, you pray for one life. You said to pray for autonomous. Then we have that independent, you better solve all the problems that confront the school. So I work along with him, like I said, you should do a draft bill, we work along with experts, education, higher education, to see if there's a student making the autonomous institution.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you so much. I'm Prince Copeland, LPA correspondent from Rivers County. The issue of roads have been one of the major impediments to the development of the you just apply the rules. How you intend to work along with your fellow players to make sure that we have a very good apply rules and it's being taken.
The good thing the President has said, all of the priorities roads. So it's a clear manifestation for what you can see. He said no car gets stopped. Doesn't mean that the road will be the best. The fact is that you have access to this area in time to cut down the prices of the services. You see today when the trucks coming, there's a charge of 5,000 dollars still that the radio goes to Benji, and now the price has dropped to $1,000 or even far less than that. Because it's taking less than 2 hours or 3 hours to get to Benji. It's taking a full 5 days. No perishable goods and all get damaged along the road. So that accessibility of roads, allowing our goods and services to get to the counties in time is also a help to our people. And that's the President's vision. At 2028 ends, we see the road all paved, connecting to all of the areas of the Southeast.
Good morning, Honorable Speaker. My name is Michael Roy. I manage the Voice of People in Virginia. Let me first of all thank you at the level of the House of Representatives. But I want to bring it to your attention, beginning with a word of appreciation. The community radio, I'm the Assistant Secretary for the Association of Liberia Community Radio. And just in recent time, you guys at the House of Representatives were able to pass on the community radio. Thank you for that radio leadership group. But there was little request into that bill that was submitted for which you guys acted upon. The issue that request for a little percentage from the national budget to sustain community radio stations across the country. Honorable Speaker, can you tell us what do we expect at the level of community radio sustainability?
Our vision was to empower all radio stations and help our communities. We're not looking at private stations. We're looking at radio stations that are run by the county, especially owned by the community. And on that basis, we thought it was to make them part of the national case, so at least they can have some level of sustainability and independence in making decisions. We noticed that most of the community radio are influenced by individuals. So if one man have money, he give you 50 gallons of fuel, you publish and produce, promoting the whole day, casting other people because one man help him. So we want to curtail those issues being biased. It's on that basis we thought that factoring in the national budget will help make you more independent and be more vibrant and be very free in expressing your view. So I can assure you that once the Senate concur, it's a clear win that you have exactly what we intend to put in the budget. We are not coming for fixed figure. We don't have a text space in terms of the envelope, but once it goes through, we'll have something.
All right, so gentlemen, let's play the other video quickly. The video that has to do with the advisor to the president.
I'm the senior political advisor to His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker. My name is Magdalena Cooper. I'm the senior political advisor to His Excellency Joseph Yuma Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker.
All right, so gentlemen, let's try to end the video quickly. We listened to the speaker earlier. Espouse to the speaker.
You mean S-P-O-U-S? I don't want to make sure.
Yeah, that'll work.
But why do you want to spell it?
Now, gentlemen, we'll get to that. We'll get to that part of the two videos I will play. But we listen to the speaker. let's get our takeaway.
Try to be the same.
Mr. Minister, let me welcome you to the program quickly. Henry Yankwa, welcome. Mr. Minister, I wonder he's muted. All right, it seems that the minister. Yeah, welcome, the minister.
Thank you so much for having me here. And let me also greet the other panelists and our listening audience.
Okay, welcome. I know we expected you to have joined us from the onset, but unfortunately, I know you were so engaged. Yeah, so earlier we ran opinion poll on five major ministries: the Ministry of Justice, Finance, Foreign Affairs, Health, and Public Works. And of course, we were asking as to the best performing minister. Your minister came up second as well, I think next to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, amongst the Justice, the Health, and Public Works. We did that exercise. And so congratulations to you, you and the rest of the folks at the Ministry of Finance. Also, we delved into the aspect of the budget, the 1.2 billion budget passed by the legislature. We know yesterday the Senate did its version of it, and also the ratification of the petroleum contracts with Total Energies, Rental Petroleum Liberia. Let's get your takeaway on that, Mr. Minister, before we can come to this last discussion. Let's get your takeaway on the exercise that we conducted and the passage of the budget and all the oil contracts.
Okay, so sober into our panelists and the listening audience. Let me say thank you to you for having this discussion and having me here. The issue about the performance of the government, we know we are doing our best. And I wouldn't want to grade any ministry or agency because I may be seen as biased because I come from one of the ministries. But the work we do at the Ministry of Finance is cross-cutting. Our activities will impact every sector. Take, for example, the Minister of Health is the Ministry of Health. That will be concerned by health matters. Minister of Education, but in our case, we have to work in a way that it impacts all of these sectors. We are the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning. So we are very happy that people can grade our ministry, whether it's the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Ministry of Finance, or Agriculture, or Health. Our objective is to ensure that the rest agenda is successful. The other issue about the passage of the budget that you talked about at 1.2 billion, we submitted a budget of 1.2 billion in both the lower house and the upper house have done that debate. And we want to say thank you to the Speaker, the President pro tempore, the Vice President, the role he played, and to the committee chairs, the Ways and Means Committee in both houses, and the members of the both houses. Now, we have an issue here where last year and this year our budget is being passed on time, and we want to state clearly that have positive impact on budget execution. We were very busy the few days we've been in office late hours. Tomorrow our team is going to work because after all of this shifting and re-looking at the budget by the national legislature, there's a need to restructure them in the budgetary format and have them in the system before January 2. I'm saying January 2 because January 1 is a holiday, and then we start effectively. If we delay the passage of the budget, sometimes we know in the past budget will delay for 1 month, 2 months. That will also delay executions. It will delay revenue generation. It will also delay project implementations. Budget delay in the past was even better than now. And I'm saying this because the fiscal year we had in the past was from July of one year to June of the next year. So if you fail to pass the budget before July, if you pass the budget maybe around September, July, August are rainy season months where we are not doing most of our capital-intensive project like building roads. But for now, if you delay the passage of the national budget, when we are in a dry season, you will also be delaying projects that should be executed in January and February and March. So we are very grateful to the National Legislature for their fast-sightedness, for saying all of these issues to pass budget on time. And I also want to say thank you to the Finance Minister for pushing the team for us to be able to submit the budget on time. Because failure to do so, the legislatures will also not pass the budget on time. So we want to also say thank you to the Bureau of Land Ministry and Agency. We want to congratulate the NRA because we have all of these institutions to ensure the budget process is going on smoothly. One thing I want to say before I rest, the entire budgeting process goes for a period of 12 months. It is not just in October you see us doing budget when we are finalizing. As we start January, we in the macro division, we start tracking macroeconomic performance. And then we'll be able to produce the medium-term fiscal framework in April. That is the first foundational document for preparing the national budget. And that will go on to developing the first budget framework paper that will come out in July. But before July, you have to do budget option paper, you have to meet cabinet, you have to come all the analysis to come out with the budget. We are very hopeful that the year 2026 will be a positive year and we'll be able to achieve on executing a 1.2 billion, first 1.2 billion budget. So I rest here for now, sir.
Okay, so ahead of 2026, I know when you speak, it means that the ministry speaks because you are a minister. You know you're one of the major technicians. We wouldn't experience anything called budget shortfall. Are we optimistic that the 1.2 billion can be actually raised?
So, somewhere to our listening audience, I cannot demonize budget shortfall because in the budgeting process, it is possible you experience budget shortfall. And for 2026, when you do any budget, you have to do what we call the risk analysis to the budget. The budget is not money lying down. So you are projecting that this is what we'll be able to raise, and when we raise the amount of money, we'll spend this. And you also have to come with some risks to the budget to say, if this happens, then we cannot raise this money. Let's say, for instance, there are unforeseen situations that may occur. In the year 2025, we never budgeted for the death of our late great Senator Prince Johnson. But that came as a surprise, and then we have to go to by-elections. You go to by-elections, we never budgeted that a representative will contest and become a senator. That was never budgeted for, but we still have to go to that. Why the year 2014, when we prepared national budget, we never anticipated Ebola, but Ebola came. So you would not say we just have to raise the budget in that way. There were some years we saw Corona coming in. So when you do budget, you also do rate analysis to the budget. But under normal conditions, we can show you that we'll be able to execute the 1.2 billion budget. But when you do budget, you also have to do risk analysis to your budget to say if this happens, this will not happen. We will give you a typical example on our commitment. The year 2025 started with some pressure. We had some of our development partners withdrawing support or trying to relook at how they support developing countries. But yet and say we did not recast budget in this year, and we have been moving and sailing positively, and we can show you that we have that commitment to do so as we are pushed by the president, the finance minister, as we are pushed by the vice president, the speaker, the president pro tem. I mean, it's a collective effort of the entire government, and we ensure we execute the budget expeditiously.
Okay, so before I bring Moses back on, you also heard that the Senate joined the House of Representatives. They've ratified this whole petroleum contract with Total Energies and Oriental Petroleum Labrador Limited. Now, Mr. Minister, how does that also boost your budget capacity? How does it boost help you to raise this sort of needed revenue?
So one thing I want to say, we trust the work of the legislatures and acting upon these instruments is also a platform to raise additional revenue. So we want to tell them thank you for doing the work they were elected for, and we think it's a good thing for our country to always have that latitude to raise more money where we can be able to invest in projects that will have impact on household, that will have impact on our generation now and the future to come.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Minister. Moses, welcome back to the program.
Okay, thank you. I'm back. So
Okay.
thank you.
Now, gentlemen, before joining the Assistant Minister of Finance, we listened to the tape of the play concerning the speaker, and he spoke with spoke with journalists. And one question we were asked by a journalist is about community radio stations. How can the government also help to empower them? And he said, well, in the draft budget, the budget just passed. They got some allocation for community radio. But let me, and also would play the tape regarding the advisor who said, we're coming to that word. The advisor who the president advisor who's traveling also with the political advisor who's traveling also with the speaker. She named herself as the identify herself as the advisor, and then later on she said she's the spouse. But let me first get your takeaway from the speakers. David, let me listen to you first. Your takeaway from what the speaker said to the journalists and all.
Well, there's something here I was reading regarding the speaker's statement. Not what I heard, but what I read earlier in one of the newspapers. Said Speaker Richard Nangwe Koon's message on his nationwide tour focuses on legislative accountability, citizen engagement, and unity. The other one is legislative. The other one got to do with inclusive government. So look, Sabo, is this government inclusive? Or the government is not, as far as I'm concerned, is not inclusive. What I see is that all those who have been appointed to positions of trust by President Walker are people, from the alliance, how they call it, some kind of alliance. The Liberty Party people,
the coalition.
They're not coalition, they call it alliance, the Unity Party Alliance.
Okay.
People from the Liberty Party, people from the Unity Party, and all other parties that joined the Unity Party to ensure that it won the elections. So these are the people who have been given position. Name me three. Can any of the government people name me about 5 or 6 officials of government that from the main opposition CDC that were appointed to high position of trust? I'm not seeing any of them. Maybe I'm blind or I'm not following the appointments. But as far as I'm concerned, this government is not a government of inclusion. It's all about the Unity Party Alliance. Then another one is, all those are in the government. They are all from Liberty Party, Unity Party, and other people that support the Unity Party during the campaign. That's what I see. So how can the speaker say he's traveling on the message of government inclusion and this and that? That's misleading. Another one is, you talk about legislative accountability. There's a legislature that's always shying away from audit. Anytime they talk about auditing the legislature, they shy away. So how can you talk about legislative accountability? So you're traveling, you're touring the country with lies, misleading the people, when in fact you don't want to succumb to audit. And it's an open secret that anytime an attempt is made or suggestions are made for the legislature to be audited, they shy away from it. They use their legislative power to dismiss the issue of the legislature being audited. Another one is citizen engagement. Yes, of course, they want to agree with it. You engage the citizens. You go and tell them, say, oh, you know, we are your representatives and we're making laws and this and that. But the two key areas that are at the center of the speaker's message across the country as he tours the nation, I think the speaker is touring the nation with misleading information to the people, because as far as I'm concerned, the government is not an inclusive government, because you can't point at 2-3 ministers of government who are from the main opposition coalition of the Democratic Change.
Okay, let's hear from you, Edwin. That's what I'm taking away from the speaker's tour.
You know, I'm just sitting here just laughing. You see, when we say government of inclusion, it necessarily doesn't mean that you need to have people from the opposition. It means you have people from different backgrounds, people from different political parties. So if you have a conglomeration of people that came together with this same idea to say this, we believe in the idea of the United Party, so we're going to support you, I think that's government. That's a coalition government. Unlike what we had yesterday, like you tried to go back. And now, in politics, in party politics, nobody wants to put an opposition into your government to undermine you. That is just
people in the opposition, non-Liberians. Are people in opposition, non-Liberians, are not qualified to be part of a government?
David, we're not having a debate. You spoke again.
No, it's a debate. It's a debate.
Government has an agenda. Government has an agenda.
So are you insinuating that if the government brought in an opposition, that opposition going to undermine the government?
It's possible. Because
we are government with the best government.
Chief,
I'm not coming. That person.
How many percent the president we have?
What are you saying? As you speak now.
He said elected officials. Yeah. He said appointed officials.
Appointed officials. I'm coming.
Name me what was the party.
As we speak, the current minister of operation at the Ministry of Defense is a UP person. He served in unit. He served in CBC government before he traveled.
Deputy Minister, is it?
The Deputy Minister for Operations at the Ministry of Defense. So CDC was the best government then.
Slower.
Because CDC had lots of opposition to the government.
Slower. But even you.
So why would you say
even the party people?
No.
It's possible.
The message there's no opposition to the government.
No.
That's how I'm concerned. It's not government.
His analysis. His analysis are flawed.
Give names of opposition that in this administration.
He said
if you are not part of the coalition. If you are not part of the coalition,
no. But even those who are within that coalition, they were oppositions.
Okay.
They came together. Now, let me speak on the speaker issue. Because, you know, whenever we try to bring this excitement in, people say, no. That's not how governance structure works. You have an agenda to deliver, so you live up to that. Now, the speaker tour, I think, is laudable because the legislature has 3 cardinal functions: lawmaking, oversight, yeah, you know, and
it had to lie.
No. That's not a lie. The legislature have 3 cardinal functions: representation, lawmaking, and oversight. Now, if you have to do oversight, how do you do oversight sitting in your office at the Capital Building?
Said, no, you are not supposed. You are not in line with that. What they said.
No.
What they said, as far as I is concerned, the speaker is misleading the people. All grounds that he's speaking about governments of inclusion, and the government is a government.
But that's not true. But government of inclusion doesn't mean that people who are at the top should be appointed from the opposition. That's not what they call government of inclusion. If that is a fact, if that's what you are trying to say, then you have to go back to what governance is.
Let's go there. Moses, can you come in quickly and then go to the minister?
Look, this is what I would like to say. I think David struck a very salient point. Let's do a little bit of reflection here. Maybe that will help Mr. Palmer understand where Mr. Carter is coming from. When Mr. Salif was president of the Republic of Liberia, the political leader, former President George Manuel Weah, then a presidential hopeful, Mr. Salif brought him in.
That's what.
Oh, come on, man. I need to know you live in the country, man. I didn't come.
Let me say.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Moses.
Waste my time. Mr. Salif brought this guy in government. Samuel Toy was in government. Eugene Nambi was in government, and the list goes on. Several other individuals from opposition were brought in. Oh my God.
Man, give the man chance.
When they joined Famule, you are a lawyer. Famule, you are a lawyer in training. I don't think you are being schooled to be disruptive in the courtroom.
Oh, wow. I'm in the courtroom right now.
Yeah, but so I want you to begin to practice that when you're on.
No, I will not practice from you.
Okay.
Man, from you.
You can't be disrupting the man.
No, but I bet you didn't say something that's not true.
So the point I'm trying to drive here is that
Milton Teji, they're on board with opposition. When how you call him? How you call this guy who this bastard guy, man, as deputy minister for information?
Jackson.
Opposition.
Opposition. Even Louis Brown.
Louis Brown was opposition.
Opposition.
So many of them were in the they never undermine any government. They never undermine the government.
So Mr. Salif administration was inclusive. Even former president to some extent, his administration was also inclusive. President Bwaka's son, the one called Jojo, I am told, he worked at the Maritime Commission.
He was a maritime, yeah.
When?
He was a maritime. And there are several other individuals from the Unity Party that were also in that government.
You're not giving information to them before?
Stop playing for.
My man, I told you, my man, when you conduct yourself like this, then that raises a lot of questions about your ability to practice as a lawyer.
Moses, you don't understand what a courtroom process is. So don't come here and start training. Don't come here and start syndrome. No, don't do that.
You are conducting yourself.
I will not allow you to spread misinformation to the public. No, I will not do that.
You are portraying yourself in a way. Representative of
Thank you, Mr. Sandy.
So let me complete what I was saying. This is what I would like to say quickly about the speaker. The statement that he made to the journalist, he talked about community radio stations that government will begin to allocate funding for them. Honestly speaking, I think the speaker lied. He lied to those people. The government doesn't have. We have a senior executive here from the Ministry of Finance. The man is here. He knows how to challenge the country. The price cannot accommodate all sectors of the country. People running private entities. Government doesn't have money to allocate to them. The speaker lied. He lied.
Okay. All right, that's what we did. Oliver, quickly.
Yeah, so you see, I think it's embarrassing, when people come to the show and believe because there is no CDC minister in the government, then that means the government is not inclusive. I think it is actually an embarrassment here. A government of inclusion does not mean CDC should be in the government. It does not mean that. See, the common level minister comes from where? MDR.
MDR is a member of the
Wait.
Wait, inclusion.
Wait, let me speak. Wait, from the ANC,
from the party,
from the ANC, from the ANC, we had the minister who just passed on. He was not from the UP. He came from the ANC. We had George Solo, who President Bokar appointed as ambassador destined to Italy. He maintained Emma Glasgow from the CDC. You know, he also maintained another
lady from the new fund. She's from the previous government. She's still there.
Because
so when you come here and say because they didn't then I think it is unfortunate. But to the issue, no, somewhat to the issue. The speaker going to the rural area, I think is commendable. That speaker being my in-law now.
Commendable because he's spreading lies across the nation.
You can't give me time to speak the next time.
Choice of voice anyway, choice of voice. You gotta be civil here. Yeah. So let me say hats off to the speaker for taking up his time, for using the role that is edition to not make us use. Do you know what it means for the speaker to drive as far as Vedru when your speaker had to pass through Ivory Coast to go to
his spouse?
No, I'm coming.
Yes, spouse. And that spouse is from Roger County.
Okay. You always spoken. Is the minister still on? You say young man?
You guys.
Yeah.
We played the tape of the speaker, and also there was some write-up concerning the speaker's tour where he indicated that the government is a government of inclusion and the legislature believes in accountability. But it sounds debatable. What's your takeaway?
Let me start from the point the speaker will make on the road that will go to the southeast and how relevant our road is to our people. It was on September 4th when I took off from Sreju by 4:20 a.m. and between 12 to 1, I was already, not 11 to 12, I was already in Mount Barkley. You can leave a Monrovia, whether rainy season or dry season, and you can be assured of reaching any part of the country within a day. Well, last year when we allocated 22 million to rehabilitate roads around the country, I also saw it that we're wasting money. But that 22 million is filtering now in homes for people who are buying burger rice in the southeast, more especially during the rainy season, around 6,000, and then I'm buying it around 3,000. That amount is filtering in people's homes today. And we're buying gasoline around 2,000, more especially in the rainy season again, when they are now buying it around 8,700. And other commodity prices are also tied to all of these ones. The other argument on whether the government is a government of inclusion, from the get-go, from the campaign period, you already had a campaign of inclusion. And our team came on board and our team is moving on. The flag bearer of the platform of those who ran the campaign are the best people to run a government. I tell you this, Mo Ali was being chased out of the Ministry of Finance because he was in opposition. He made measure of Louis Brown, who opened himself words to the current president.
Of course.
But he stayed in the government.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I worked as a civil servant during my study time, George Weah time to now. And I know what happened. And I will tell you this for free. Name me somebody in the CDC that is more qualified than Minister Gapuan to be finance minister. Name me somebody in the CDC that is more qualified to be Minister of Education more than Dr. Jasso Jala. And we can go on and on to name them. They were so qualified when they were there, and at some point in time, our people would stay in line. They can't find rice to buy. They can't find petroleum bill to buy. So what happened within the CDC? They never had the manpower to run government. So they will engage you that we need you in our government, but you must go to the Sacrament tree and fill in form. Those who refuse were being chased. That's what happened to the CDC. So now they were so friendly and they wanted people in. And I can tell you, some of all were being engaged, but we swear that we'll never join the CDC on that type of note. So that the CDC, what the government inclusion is not a case here. And one reason why they even feel miserably, because they never had the rightful people in the right positions. So their policy issues were not allowed to do anything. So we saw the country being strangulated during that time. We will not bring people who already feel miserably to come and guard on us to leave when we know how to do it. So that is a clear thing. Somebody like Kanu Barbara is still in CDC, but you can say with President Bouakai, they had discussion because they have ideas to offer the government. They are getting angry for the people rather than people getting angry for themselves and going to the street to go and demonstrate, vandalize, and bring people properties. So that is not the case here. You have to look at this scenario to know actually what really went on at the time. So if you say because somebody is not a CDC minister, then we now have government inclusion. I'm not the president. You can bring anybody on board at any point in time as you want, which is guided by the Constitution. But we think the government is a government of inclusion, and we are doing well. What you want is the output of the government.
Okay.
Not to have people in positions. Government is service. Government not people who come in to just serve themselves. Like what happened during the past 6 months.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Minister. We hope to have you again on this program. But gentlemen, let's go to the side attraction of the speaker's tour quickly. Please play that tape again. We want to listen to the tape of that of the political advisor.
Let's
play that tape because we want to listen to that.
I'm the senior political advisor to His Excellency Josiah Yuma Bouakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker, Jello Cooper. I'm the senior political advisor to His Excellency Josiah Yuma Bouakai, President of the Republic of Liberia. But I also happen to be the spouse of the Speaker.
Okay, David, what's your takeaway there?
You know, I respect women because I'm from a woman's background. Many sisters, 3 daughters, so I respect women. And I'm just wondering what makes it important to have introduced herself as a spouse of the Speaker. I don't know what makes it important in an interview. It's not important. It's absolutely inconsequential for her to have mentioned that she's the spouse of the Speaker. Why the hell have the people got to do with her being the spouse of the Speaker? They have nothing to do with that. Another one again is that, look, you know, this is the same Mandela Cooper we heard about yesterday about Senegali boyfriend and some kind of conflict.
You were going to
I mean, and this thing, and today we're talking about being the spouse of the Speaker. That's a personal life. But what I can say in conclusion is that she's not a good example to young women coming up.
Okay. Let's hear from you.
Well, for me, I don't like to go into people's personal life. You know, Madam Cooper has the right to associate with anybody she wants to. If she were with somebody yesterday and she felt that she's not good in that relationship, she's a woman, she can move on. But there is this controversy on the internet about the Speaker being married and then, you know, he's with this woman. Again, our laws are against bigamy or polygamy or so, you know, having multiple wives or so. Now, the thing is that if the Speaker actually have intent to marry Madam Cooper, you know, because I see them dressing up, going to places, you know, like husband and wife, you know, their domestic laws, they have the domestic relation laws. The actual wife, if she's there, she has a remedy at law. She can go to the court, she can petition the court also. And then if he feels like he has no interest in the first wife, he can divorce or they go that separate way, he can remarry. There's no crime in that. But again, the position as a Speaker, that's the third most powerful position in our country, has to be seen, you know, as an example, you don't want to be, the speaker. Yes, we've spoken a lot of good thing about Speaker Kuhn, but you have to carry yourself in a way that shows some moral integrity, and then have some level of moral consciousness, because what you're doing now, the young people are looking at you as an example. You can't have a wife sitting home and you parading with another government official who introducing herself as a spouse. I don't know whether that video is authenticated, but if it is, then I think that was below the belt.
Okay, Dave, not Dave, but Moses, let's hear from you. Moses, let's hear from you.
Yes, I think a little bit of education here. I don't know if the legal advisor, or the political advisor, the senior political advisor, I don't know whether she used the word spouse intentionally. A spouse is the person can either be someone who is, the person is legally married. It can be a husband or a wife. So if she refers to herself as a spouse, then she's telling the people of Liberia that she's legally married to the speaker. And I am not sure that is the case, because like Mr. Famula said, I came across similar story like that today, that the speaker has not divorced. So if the speaker has a wife that is noted, then he cannot go about, on a public show, on a public display of another female, portraying herself as his spouse.
And that's impersonation. She can be arrested for that.
He has to remarry. If they remarry, then she becomes his spouse. But when you date somebody, that person is what your significant other. It's a friend. It's your girlfriend. It's your boyfriend. That person cannot be referred to as what? Your spouse.
Yes, of course.
So
That's
I don't know if the political advisor to the president understands the meaning of the word spouse. Because and what really makes it embarrassing is that
you can't doubt it. The fact that both of them were wearing almost the same.
No, that doesn't mean that they're married. I disagree with you. So
I'm just saying.
Don't go that way. It doesn't matter that they're married.
But it's possible that
in order to be,
we have to enter quickly.
In order for that to become recognizable, they have to go through the legal. For now, we assume that they are. All right, let me start there.
Okay, Oliver.
Well, Oliver,
Mr. Sandy Radley defined the word spouse. And the people are legally married. Madame Mandela Cooper is a well-educated woman. She knows exactly what she said. She said spouse of the speaker. She didn't say girlfriend. So there's no speculation here.
You want to tell me that a speaker was married to a Mandela Cooper without the public knowing that?
But the point has to
excuse me. For the records. Yeah. I mean, for the records, she said spouse.
Yeah, Oliver, come.
She didn't say girlfriend. Then let me say something to Mr. Tagbe. To say that introducing yourself in that manner was inconsequential. Who determines that?
To the interview.
Who determines that?
What made it?
Who is introducing herself?
She's the one opening Pandora box.
Okay. And she says she is the spouse of the speaker. So he has no right to say That introduction was inconsequential. If you read Speaker Coon's marital status, you realize that they have, legal challenges here and there, divorce issues. We can't go into all of that. The speaker had made no public statement. They were both dressed in the same attire. Common sense would tell me.
Just for a traditional wedding. You can do it now. Apparently, just for a traditional wedding.
There was
I will advise.
as far as I'm concerned,
on the show.
wearing the same clothes doesn't mean that you're married.
Okay,
I will advise on the show that people leave Mr. Kun, my own brother-in-law, with my sister Mandela Cooper.
Good.
Those are
Okay. So let me just
period.
You struck a very good point.
Yeah.
The domestic relations law is very clear.
Okay.
You don't have to take a woman to the altar to marry them.
Okay.
If you and a woman live in the same property,
you're wearing
the same clothes, and people seeing you guys coming out.
People are married.
After 3 years, the law consider you guys as husband and wife.
No,
you don't have to go to court.
This lady is very educated.
So if this lady,
know the word she uses for spouse.
If this lady herself is wife, does not challenge it to go to court and say, this man is still married to me, he has not yet divorced. When Mandela has disposed herself as the wedded husband, people see the people together, they go. In fact, it is a clear testament that these people are together because everywhere they go, they dress the same way.
Of course.
They are portraying themselves as husband and wife. And on our domestic relation law, after our domestic relation law, the law consider them husband and wife.
Wow.
So
it is clear.
Wearing the same clothes means that it's a portrayal of
once
marriage.
people see you guys together, you're in the same community, you're living in the same place. Right? The law consider your husband and wife.
Okay, let's try to ask.
That's a new style of marriage now.
Yeah,
the women always say that.
Let's get the takeaway of the minister. Mr. Minister, we know. Let's hear from you.
Normally, I like to be quiet about people' private life, but then in this case, I know Speaker Kun and Madam Cooper are considered reasonable and logical on our law. And then what I think in my own mind should be happening, we should leave it to the actions of Speaker Kun's wife. If you have another wife that will come up to take any actions, because we are not very close to them to know what may have happened. Perhaps Speaker Kun may have had discussion with your wife. We don't know. We have visited situation in this country where a woman will go and find another woman for her husband. We don't know what may have happened there. We just don't know the detail of this to be able to discuss it. And then, so that's my own position on this, because you don't know what may be happening behind the scene. Maybe they have an agreement to divorce, or they have an agreement that you can find another person, and you just can't tell. So I think the action of Speaker Kun's wife, if there is a wife, then that would be where we can take it from as a public. But until then, if the wife remains silent, maybe she appreciates that happening, we don't know. So relationship matters come in different forms and minor. So I mean, and I like it in a way where Madam Cooper will come and say, yes, this is happening. We also need to listen to Speaker Kun on that. Perhaps he will come and say, this is not happening. He might just say this. So we still need to keep a bit quiet about it and follow the story to see what's happening.
Okay, so General, I want to thank all of you for tonight. Really appreciate just maybe in the second parting word. Let's begin with you, David Tagbo, quickly.
Well, my closing is that the president must be a good example, must be a respecter of time. If there's a president, you're supposed to show up at 10 o'clock, the president must be there at 10 o'clock. The president today disappointed many Liberians. They said 9 o'clock, you're supposed to be on ELBC. He was told 2 or 3 days ahead, and today the president appeared even 1 hour, 2 hours late. That was not a good example of a president. The president must be a respected of time. Not the same Liberian way of doing things. Like, oh, he's the same one that said there's no business as usual. Liberian people have said, oh, they get specific Liberian time. And the president violated that. In fact, followed that same belief that there is a special Liberian time. He said 9 o'clock, then he come in 11 o'clock.
Thank you.
That was absolutely wrong. It was not a good example of the president.
Okay, Ed.
Yeah, so I will close by just arguing what he said. And let me say this. Like I said, the president was not performing a constitutional duty today. It is a process. It is a process that he chose to go to the radio station to speak with his people. The president has other authority. He has other functions to do. And as the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, as the heads of state, there are important issues that he needs to attend to before going to the radio station. So if he miss out 1 hour or so, it has nothing to call that, oh, he doesn't respect time. If the president was going for the State of the Nation's address, which was supposed to start at 4 o'clock, and he went there at 5 o'clock, then it's a violation because that's a constitutional function.
Okay, Moses, your parting comment quickly, just a second.
Yeah, quickly. Let me just piggyback on what Mr. Family said. Mr. Family, in leadership, it is often stated that leaders lead by example. So what Mr. Tagwe is saying, when you make an appointment and you say, I'm going to be here at 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
Regardless of who is involved.
So Mr.
Farmer, are you saying that if you have a job interview for 10 o'clock, you will show up at 11? So the president was in error on that. Let us agree. Don't forget now, he was going to meet journalists. Journalists who also have other schedules, other appointments. And so the man is the president. No, it doesn't work like that.
All right, Moses, thank you.
Example. And so last, this is what I want to say. I think it was unusual for the political advisor. There was no need for that self-introduction. Yes. And the men will always introduce their spouses. My wife is not going to be running all over the place. I'm Mr. Sani. No, people know that she's Mr. Sani. You know, there's no need. The political advisor is already prominent. No.
Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you, Moses.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oliver, your party comment quickly. 1 minute. I mean, a second.
Yeah, so you know, it looks like Mr. Tagbe and Mr. Sani, they don't go to Sunday school. You know, Jesus Christ, he told the people that he is the law of the Sabbath. He talking about time in Liberia with the president. The president now is robot. In fact, if he said 9 o'clock and he eventually appeared to talk to his people, let us congratulate the president. I mean, I was in Liberia. They didn't see their president coming to talk to anybody. At the point, it was like somebody keeping speech for my own people. Look, let me salute the Liberian president for talking to the people today. We respect this president, and we say, Ome, continue moving lepe.
Okay, thank you.
No, Sabo.
No, but you got one. I need a second, huh?
Nana Cooper introducing yourself, it is all right. No one determines how people introduce themselves. There is no law how people to introduce themselves. She didn't want people asking further questions on that trip. Okay. So she said,
Thank you. Let me say comment.
Okay, so since I happen to be a government official and I'm online, a commission official by President Josiah Yima Boakai, let me just speak to the issue of delay raised by our colleague. And I think the president was even ridiculous. If the president comes late 1 hour on a function like our colleague said, that is not a constitutional function in the committee for that. There are a lot of things happening in the country for which the president may not even appear. Why, if there are serious issues happening that involve human life, they have to intervene? And you say you just leave that, even if they will die, let it die, because you already said you'll be there at this time. So if you haven't been in leadership, He just say these things because you haven't played around leadership. But let me come back to the other issues. I want to extend my appreciation to all Liberians. Even those who criticize government, that is how they think they want to contribute to that country.
Mr. Minister, you gone off?
Yeah, I think the internet is tripping.
Well, I think the minister is off. I want to thank all of you for tonight.
Data.
Yeah, we want to thank all of you tonight. Vinicius Junior Bad, he said to be watching from Nukutal. Aliyu Kamara also been watching. Did he say from where? Jacob Toll. Did he say from where? Shadrach Gwiming from Nimbakanda Rabato Richards from Louisville. Love Chichi. Did he say from where? Pastor Samuel Sham from Chickasaw Jim Man, he said he's been watching from the nation's capital. Amos G. Carlin, been watching from Kono. We can call all of the names. What time has cut of us? Will be on Monday for another fascinating edition of the program. Thanks to the producers. Thanks to the rest of the panelists. Sabo George is my name. Have a pleasant and restful night.